Thank you for giving me the chance to tell you about my CLL journey and following on from two fantastic stories already. That's absolutely brilliant. I would like to tell you how I discovered there was something new I could do and enjoy along my CLL journey. Even better, that I could do it in the company of my husband. Before my CLL diagnosis, I was an active sort of person. So in 2014, when I was first diagnosed, much of that activity was curtailed. To go hill walking, sailing, rock climbing, backpacking, and enjoyed the challenge of Via Ferratas. That's in Italy, in the Dolomites. The doctor said I was ready for treatment in 2015, and I was lucky enough to be taken onto the FLARE trial, and even luckier to get the rituximab and ibrutinib arm of that trial. Treatment went smoothly for the most part, but the overriding difficulties I had, which have already been referred to by other people today, is constant fatigue. I was keen to keep moving and as active as possible, but a 10-minute walk from the house and back was all I could manage to begin with. And I confess it became a little tedious. However, my husband, who is here with us today, launched himself onto the internet to see what he could find that would make it possible for us to be out in the fresh air and give me the chance to be out without being overly energetic. He's always been a keen cyclist. We'd tried cycling before, but hubby spent more time waiting for me, which didn't really work for either of us. Amazingly, he discovered the answer to our challenge, and here it is. The picture tells some of the story. It's a semi-recumbent tandem, and it has a special feature which made it perfect for us. Most conventional tandems have fixed pedals, where if one person pedals, both have to. Now, this is a tandem which has independent sets of pedals, so if the captain pedals, the stoker can choose to pedal or not. An added bonus is the very comfortable recumbent seat. I call it my deck chair. It's brilliant. In the early stages of treatment, I was more passenger than assistant cyclist, but as treatment progressed, I became stronger and more able to put some power into my ride. Now I am in remission, and I'm doing more and more to contribute. Ask him if you like later. We first had a test ride when we hired one in Haarlem in the Netherlands. We were able to go for a ride into the extensive sand dunes there, and we quickly discovered that it was going to work for us. It made a great day out too. Coming back to the UK, we visited a tandem specialist in Yorkshire, who also let us cycle before we bought. Both these test runs were on bikes without electric assist. This worked well in Holland, but our test run in Yorkshire showed us that we were going to need a little bit of extra power to keep us going. Yorkshire's got a few more hills than Holland. Our tandem was duly ordered, and we took delivery of our first Hassi Pinot with electric assist in November 2015, about the time treatment started. We've travelled on our cycle regularly together since then. We've taken it on holiday to Europe, and we found some wonderful places to enjoy there. Cycling along the Rhine, along canals in Italy, along disused railway lines with epic views. We kept going in the UK through UK restrictions, taking picnics with us, because we weren't going to go into any cafes, were we? And would spend the whole day out in the fresh air. I've now completed my 6 years in the FLARE trial, and currently I am in remission and not under any active CLL treatment. This year we're approaching approximately 2,000 kilometres cycled together on our tandem. Last year was a similar tandem. When we first got our tandem, as here, I was reluctant to clip in, so used toe clips so that I could slide out of them easily. But when I was resting and tired, my feet used to fall out of the toe clips. I've now learnt to use cleats, which hold my feet onto the pedals. A simple foot twist and I'm free, but when I'm having a break, my feet just hang passively on the pedals. A very, very restful position to be in. My journey has not been all positives, and there are not such good days too. Early on, it would take me ages to change into my cycling gear. The clothing had to be extra warm because I wasn't being very active. I would then have to rest for maybe 20 minutes before I was ready to cycling. Nothing ever gets done in a hurry. Nowadays, I'm more likely to overestimate how much I can do, so after a particularly long ride recently, I slept all evening and most of the next day. I hate losing days like this, but it teaches me to pace myself to my current capabilities. But I don't always know what those are until I try. Tandem cycling gives me a freedom I couldn't have dreamt of otherwise. I'm doing something new to me, which brings excitement, and a feeling of adventure which was totally unexpected. We visit places we never went before, so there are lots of new discoveries to make. You can imagine we get noticed quite a lot. This brings us into contact with other people, which is lovely. It's great to meet other cyclists and indeed passers-by and chat about life. We even get drivers and their passengers waving frantically from their cars with big cheesy grins on their faces. Van drivers and lorry drivers too have been known to toot the horn and wave, all very uplifting. And it's great to bring a smile to somebody else's day too. There have been so many positive changes from this change in our lives. I think I've missed moving on to a slide because I should have given you that one as well. And this is on the CLL in Italy. And somebody managed to take a photograph of us in action in the sunshine. I'm very grateful that my husband has been keen to work so hard to make this possible for us both. When he sees me getting tired, he's likely to quip, "Let the two donkeys do the work," meaning himself and the electric motor. But definitely not when he's cycling uphill or into the wind. "Can you give me a bit more?" he'll say then. This may not be everyone's idea of a good way forward, but I would encourage you to keep as active and cheerful as you can. Try something new. I'm sure that many of you have already found ways to live with your diagnosis, as the recent Blood Cancer Awareness Month videos have recounted, which were brilliant if you haven't already seen them. We met a couple, both able-bodied, on a recent holiday and came across them again while we were cycling along the promenade at Grange-over-Sands. The lady was keen to have the shot on our Pinot. Her reaction on her return says it all in her reaction to the bike, and it certainly reflects my feeling about our tandem. So thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you've enjoyed my very short presentation. Thank you all.